describe ukuthi uneticu letintsatfu amunye. There is the human being that you see as the physical me, the body, right? That's part of me, but that's not only what comprises me. There is a physical you, lena lama senses. Manga kodwa ma senses. Wona lawo ke, that is your physical self. You can touch, you can feel, you can see, that is you. Wakhiwe ngale nyama nemathambo kuze kuyofika phansi etinyaweni kusuka enhloko. And there is the spiritual you we cannot see. And then there is the soul you. Your emotional structure. This is your physical structure. There is your emotional structure within you. Let's see, it's the soul you. And then there is the spiritual structure. These three things tenda wena uphelele as a human being. And these three things are alive. And these three things should be alive for you to be complete. Okay? The physical you may be affected by so many things. The emotional you will be affected by so many things, and the spiritual you. These three components of a human being ayatsinzana ndlela tsite kune interaction yale tintfo letintsatfu letenta umuntfu. Uma ukhutshwa nje angiboni ukuthi nisakhutshwa ke noma nisahambi ngetinyawo. Etsine sakhula sihamba ngetinyawo sicathulo sisicaleka form 1. So na ukhutshwa ulimala la elitwaneni. The physical you is affected, right? But kuyendeka nekwekuthi your emotional you will be affected. That's why you will see you crying. Because the pain lo itfole ngale ma senses akho alomtimba is translated into your emotions. So kuyendeka ukuthi bese solve emotional pain because when denjani kulimele umtimba, right? Now, let's start khuluma ngako ke namuhla. Ngule ngcenye yakho lesithi emotional structure yakho. Letsinzekako nangabe your physical being has been affected somehow. Your emotional you is affected when your body is affected somehow, and these can actually even affect your spiritual being. I have so many verses, but I want you to go and read 1 Samuel chapter 25. The whole chapter. But for today, we will read just 2 verses. 1 Samuel chapter 25. I will read verse number 22 and verse number 34. Who can read for us? 22 and 34. Okay. Ndafunza 22. Utsi, may God do so, and more also to the enemies of David, if I leave one male of all who belong to him by morning light. Verse 34, Utsi, for indeed, as the Lord God of Israel lives, who has kept me back from hurting you unless you had hurried and come to meet me, surely by morning light no males would have been left to Nabal. Uyafunga David la. He is having a conversation, like verse 22, he's having a conversation with his man. Uthi impela, nangase ngente liphutha kubede umuntu lengumshiyako emntini waNabal. Kutabe kungakendeki kahle. He is so angry. So angry. And the anger, ndaifunza lenza, but the anger is emanating from the fact that Nabal he refused to give David's man some food. Lo Nabal was a very rich guy, anetimvu, bahamba baya endle, labelusi baletimvu, bafike bakhanza Davide with his man, abalekela Saul. Wefike Davide wabasita, kube lusisa lo mhlambi waletimvu tabo nekuvikela kwekuthi ungadliwa tilwane tasendle ungadliwa nabantu emasela. So he became a wall around lenangle. But ke nang David so yaya uyocela kwekuthi uvile ukuthi kunemsebenzi itsite lapha, they are sharing the sheep, bahula timvu. Ngelisiko labo ke bekuba ngumcimbi lomkhulu kube nekudla kube netshwala kube nayo yonke le nyakanyaka le. And David goes and say, ngivile kwekuthi you have this function, may you please loko kwetimvushwana nje lokusalako ungiphe kona ngidodlana nama emadvodza lengihamba nawo. And this man vehemently refused. Actually he says, who are you to come and ask for kudla kwami neti-70 tam? And he was very wathukuthela wagana lunwabo, sisho njalo ngeSiswati. And that is why so uyafunga ke la uthi impela nangabe ngislima nangete ngabulala yonke info lelapha kaNabal. That's number 22. He was angry. Anger is a component of emotions, right? It's how we express our emotions. Ngelenye indlela expressa ngayo ama emotion anger. And then the verse 34, so uthi ke kube awuketi wena make the wife wa Nabal walesilima lesing Nabal, because that's how the Bible, even the woman Abigail, his wife, calls him. He says he's a foolish man. Uthi ke kube awuketi wena Abigail watongihlangabeta, because Abigail wenela kuva kwekuthi David ukwate ugwana lunwabo and he's coming to destroy everything here. Waso uyaphangisa uthatha kudla uyagijima uyamhlangabeta. IBhayibheli lifike lithi wafike waguqa phansi wamncenga kwekuthi angakwendi lokhu lesakwena asahamba vele ayo destroyer le. And the Bible says this woman, out of wisdom, wafike wamncenga weva David. Ngiko ke asathi la ku verse number 34, kube awuketi tongihlangabeta, surely I would have subjected myself over to Nabal and everything that he has and destroyed everything, and by so doing I would have sinned before God. Uthi ke lo make, lo David ke lo make lo wende kahle kungihlangabeta ngoba ungivikele ngangachithi ingadi unnecessarily. Why am I relating to this story? Because when we are overwhelmed by our emotions and we don't put them under control, we can mess up. And I'm sure all of us here have stories to tell because of the mess up we've created. Ngeke singalaleli, ngeke silalele ema emotions ethu, driving us crazy. All of us here have been teenagers. These three are still teenagers. Ema teenagers ngivamisa kwafananisa nema toddlers, bantwana abancane. Ema toddlers. You know toddlers uke etela kuwe akhasa afuna licingo lwakho wale nalo. You know what they do? gankatela phansi bakhale, they just throw a tantrum ngema emotions lawo. These three do the same thing. Oh, you as well. Teenagers. Teenagers ke niyathi kusendwa yini mos? Is the stage they are passing through called puberty. Some of, or if not all of us have gone through, except them. They also have a way of throwing terrible tantrums. That's poor control of emotions. And laba basuke bendwa nje a very terrible stage. Sekuphila nje puberty. And ngiyathandaza abantu abami ukuthi nengce nje ninganathi bati ukuthi nengce puberty, because some of us uyothi nobuke emva uthi oh lo maye uNkulunkulu waba nemusa la. Emotional stability. What is it? Who can tell us? What is emotional stability? When we talk about emotional stability, what are we really talking about? Emotional stability in light of hurt and disappointment. What is emotional stability? Message, you are emotionally stable. What exactly are we talking about? Yes, sir. Yeah. So basically, we are able to not let your emotions dictate on you what to do. Right? In other words, this occurrence, this event, this thing, it could be hurt, it could be disappointment, it could be whatever it is. And your emotions tell you to cry out loud, or your emotions tell you to vent out in anger. And when you are emotionally stable, kusho ukuthi angeke uvumele ukuthi le mizwa yakho ithi yentana wende njalo. You regulate your emotions. You regulate. Akusho ukuthi angeke afike lama moments where latak pusha ukuthi ngabe wenda lutho tsite emotionally. Right? But you are able to put brakes and say, not so far. That is called emotional stability in a nutshell. Right? When your teachers decide to beat you because you have not done your homework, even though you may have reasons, one of the things would be throwing up a tantrum. But because you are emotionally stable, you don't go beyond that. Noma ngabe bofuna kusho something, you don't say it because you have now applied this break. No, not me. That is what we call emotional stability. Right? Listen to what I'll read. 1, being emotionally stable does not mean you never feel anything. Right? Nakuthiwa nje une emotional stability akusho ukuthi kude lokuvako. No. It just means that when you do find yourself in an emotionally challenging situation, you respond. You do what? You respond. Because when life's occurrences, when life throws things at you, you have to respond. Right? Naturally, that happens. When you kick a stone, unknowingly uve buhlungu yamake nabo ngisisi yebe nabo ngibhuti. That is a response to the stimulus losivile. Now shaya ukhahlela lelitshe. And that is expression of emotion. Sakhula ke thina sitshelwa kwekuthi indvodza ayikhali. Right? Noma bekubhlungu kangana kuphele khona lapho ngoba wakhala bokuthiwa hey Nkosi yami tabandvodza yini lena. So we're told not to express our emotions. I think bekuyindlela yokusifundisa kwekuthi you have to regulate your emotions. Ngendlela yabo lebasifundisa ngayo. You don't have to allow your emotions to have a field day on you. Okay? You do respond in a reasonable, expected way while maintaining a sense of composure. Kusho ukuthini ke lokho? Nangabe ngilokhahlela la ngive ngathi ngabe ngiyakhala. I have to cry. But lokukhala kwami akusuba ngathi sekwendeke ini. Ngikhale kuve yonke lembabane ethi yawo uyakhala ke na umuntu nangi angabe kwendekeni. Right? Loku regulator lokukhala kwami loku iresult ukuthi ngikhahlele litshe. Loku regulator ukuthi kube within reasonable limits. Lokho kusho ukuthi wena uyakhona ku regulator ema emotions akho. You are emotionally stable. In other words, you are able to keep it cool. Right? Yeah, this thing is hurting, but I'm keeping cool. It doesn't mean I don't feel the hurt. I do. I do feel the hurt of Posangash. Yeah, she dumped me. I do feel the hurt. But I don't have to act unreasonably. Ngize ngicabange ukuthi lengisesihlahleni just because ngalwe intombi. Right? Noma ngalwe lijaha. Even if you are deeply affected by something, you don't allow your emotions to dictate your thoughts. To dictate. And my emotions should not tell you what to think. Solely dictate what you think or how you behave. Umuntu lo emotionally stable will regulate ema emotions akhe noma asafuna kumcabangisa lutho tsite. There are certain thought processes and patterns which you will not allow in your life nangabe emotionally stable. Utawubona nje ukuthi no, lama thoughts lawa ngoba ngiva buhlungu ukuthi ngaliwe ngilosilina. And now I am having a thoughts of even committing suicide. Umuntu lo emotionally stable will put a break and say no to those kind of thoughts. Sometimes you may be disappointed by a situation. You have failed an exam. You are so disappointed because you are looking forward to passing this exam. And your friends or people that you associate with may even suggest things to you, like drinking alcohol to ease your nerves. What do you call it? And what? No man and what? Yeah, happy, yes, probably happy, yes. I don't know. I don't know how. I've never seen it. But so some people may suggest let's go and do that to ease our nerves because you failed your exam. Ema emotions, you should not allow them to dictate how you behave. How you behave. Now when danjalo kusitsitsine emotionally stable, when you don't allow emotions to tell you where good fun to behave njani at the man, right? Okay. Ngibani okasimelana la? Oh, na. Bathi ngibani basimelana? Awusitshela, awusichazela. Particularly bomake, bosisi, besifazane. Bayitselela. Bathi nje banelaka banenqobotho. Yathi inqobotho. Nebakamdluli. Angithi. Nathi lungela ni. Okay. Ndabe kusanga bakasimelana because it's common. So bani basimelane bathi banjani? Bathi nje kuyathi wazwa abakasimelane nje kuyathi ukuthi ye nebakadlamini. Nebakadlamini. Angithi. Savele sithi nebakadlamini hey sacela libombo ngihlehletela akudlalelwa la kithi. And they make this thing appear like kukuma jeans. Kuthi nje wazwa abakasimelane sonelaka noma wazwa abakasimelane se inhloko ilikhuni. That is not true. Angithi ke laba bakasimelane lokuthi batiwe njengabantu labanenhloko elikhulu labanelaka. They are allowed, society has allowed them to throw tantrums, unreasonable tantrums, to behave emotionally wrong. And we have to tolerate that nonsense because wakasimelana. Okay? I want you to know that it has nothing to do with your genes to throw tantrums, behave unreasonably. It has nothing to do with watalelwa wakabansibongo sakho. Akukho la kuma genes. Right? Emotional stability comes from the habits you form over time. Habits, behavior, habits that you allow yourself to form over time. Kuthi nje wena ekhaya kini ungaze ukhulume igama lelithethe bathani ngabe nisamthinza. So uyatiwa nje la khaya kini kugcineke kufika nakubangani bakho esikolweni, kugcineke kufika nama colleagues akhe emsebenzini, kuthi nasenta njena ke akatsindwa. Because somehow you have allowed yourself kwekuthi lama habits lawa ekuthrowa tantrums, basically a failure to control your emotions akheke over time. It is nothing to do with your genes. Kuthi wakazwane wena noma wakasimelane no. Nguwe nje watetete umkhuba lomubi wekuthrowa tantrums, and some of you may have actually started this thing basengama toddlers. Batal babo ke babatototisa, and now they are a problem because they throw tantrums noma sebabadala basebenta. They are emotionally unstable. Ngisho nasemsebentini bo supervisor baba bathi nje wena sa behavior kanje, don't go zone. Emotional instability. Why is it important kuba emotionally stable? Why are we even talking about emotional stability? One, life, impilo. You cannot dictate kwekuthi ayilethe nguwe. That is why even complaining about the weather is a futile, thing. Ngaba complain nge-weather. Ngoba we cannot control it. You wake up in the morning, it's raining, and you have to go to school or wherever, and it's raining, but you have to go there. You can't say, stop rain. No. Timo that come or that you go through in life, most of them, anxious all, most of them are issues that you could not control. Like being hurt. When somebody hurts you, right? When you get disappointed about behavior or occurrence, let's say, in life, you do not command it to come and do that to you. But life, in general, just throws things to you. And life will continue to throw things to us. It doesn't matter how old or how young you are. Life will continue to throw things to us. But umphumela waleyo occurrence leyo is not necessarily determined by the thing that has come to your life. Do you know that? It is not determined by that. It is most of the time determined by how you respond. So, imagine yourself, you are driving along this road, Dr. Shiloh. And kunama robots lapha, it's a Total Gardens. Your robot is green, so you will have to pass. And then a lunatic drives fast from town and he comes to hit you. Be ready robot yakhe. Yako be green mele uhambe. And you are right, you have the right of way. And this guy comes and he hits you. And then you, because we are just go wrong. And then you come out of your car. Do you know that lo mphumela wekuthi wena ushayisiwe so vele wonakele ngekuvula sivalo uyoshaya umfana lokushayisile ngoba ungene ku robot ivalile. Uyathi kuthi lo mphumela wa yonke lento lo so vele wonakele ngoba wena sowendela icala simply because you failed to control your emotions. Lapha le moto nayikushayisa. You could have stayed in your car, took your phone, called the police. But you decided, because you are pushed by emotions, because you are emotionally unstable, and then you come out, so the whole thing changes. And might change for life in some instances. What determines the ultimate is not but it is also how you have responded. Sikhone ku-regulator emotions ethu. Ngoba lempilo lesiphila kiyo isilethela tinfo letinengi lesingakaticeli but tiyeta and you are not immune to them. But how you respond to the things when they come is actually very important, more than letinvo letitako. When you fail an exam and you decide to quit school because you have failed your Form 5 or Form 3, lo mphumela wekufeyila noma lesehlakalo sekufeyila le exam akusiso lesende kuthi wena uyeke lesikolo. Are you with me? Lo kungona kuyinkinga la. Lo mphumela wekufeyila i-exam noma no wendiwa kwekuthi wena ubese wenda njani ngesikhathi ufeyila i-exam. Lokuthi uyifeyile i-exam, yes, it has happened. But what do you do after failing the exam is the most important. So some will fail an exam and quit school, but others will fail an exam and say, "Babe, ngicela kubuyela esikolweni," and they do well. You see the difference? One failed to regulate emotions akhe ngekufeyila examination. Wachutshwa ngema emotions wenda info leseyibulala likusasa lakhe. The other person failed an exam. Wahamba wathi, "Babe, I have failed my exam, but I want another chance." He goes back, he does well. Because lona lobuyele wayo kusho kubaba ekuthi ngifailile ngicela kubuyele esikolweni. Emotions akhe are under control. He was able to press the button and said, not now. Any question so far? Comment? Question? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've got a strings of questions. I hope young people are taking note. Thank you so much for the introduction. Could say that my emotions are and develop kanjani and abonakala na se responde kanjani sing. First of all, ngibhale nje la ukuthi ingabe what are the dangers of bottled up negative emotions? Asengibekise nje we come from different backgrounds and we encounter different circumstances in life. Lomunye mhlamba ngakhula ahlukuhlukubektekile ekhaya ukhanda ukuthi mhlamba so washonela abadala kakhulu wahamba wahlala ku aunt wahlala kuphi so le situation yaba a bit tense such that every time nakufuneka usiyena mhlamba athole lokudliwako they have to be a strive. So lo muntu lo wa develop a certain kind of emotions in life. Mhlambe lo munye
anger, resentment, and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe lo munye you have tried something like in my head. Maybe abesalungele ukuthi angaba relationship, and wangena waphelela la kule relationship. So ekubena aphelele waba hurt because you cannot stay there forever. Kuleyo connection, she or he has to move on, but akakakhoni ukuthola the right platform or way to vent out that negative emotion. Lenga hamba at times ukana say monela even in life yakhe relationship wise.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe I think for now
Very, very important question. But ngeke sitawufika kiko. I think asangishona kubantu babasekhaya. Ngushito ngifuna ukugcizelela. You do not. Kodwa utsengibani igama lakho? Lindelani. Lindelani here. Angeke akasoze abe nemandla kwekuthi ngutiphi itinto lekumele tite empilweni yakhe asaphila. Niyakuva lokho? Most of the time, the things that come to his life, he has no control. All of us here, we have no control of circumstances that we go through. Circumstances like what he is saying, kwekuthi ngishiye badala bami, ngikhule ngihlala kamalume, ngikhule ngihlala ka-auntie. Those are circumstances that you find yourself in. And very true, as you go through those things in life, whilst we are still in that one, ngive buhlungu nangibona abantwana labakhuliswa abadala babo betselela bangatiniki isikhathi sekusebenzisa opportunities ukuthi bane badala babo, and labadala babo they are able to take care of them. Khanze kodwa labantwana betselela ungathi nje abathi umhlaba ukuphi. Because they are children, they are young people who saw very, very difficult situations laba engcekiwo ekuphileni kwabo. Ngifuna ke ukuthi vele lama circumstances letinvo the hurt, the disappointments tiyefika, and nathi fikako tifike takhe lokutsite lakithi tize timolde ngitsite emotions uyawakha, you are ufoma habits latsite as ukhula. Right? And ngikoke lesifuna unbanglisha namhla kwekuthi sitawufika kiko, maybe not today, lokho ukuthi there are certain things that we will have to do so that sito unbanglisha nathi info nathi kumbe lesikhule nato in the past that we went through that formisha does it ascenda saba nema habits noma behavior letside, which is not desirable. Not desirable for life, not desirable for relationships, not desirable for anything. Okay? So sitawufika ke deeper into nakulokuphakanyiswa ngosibusiso. Now, lenye i-benefit yekumolda yekwenta siciniseko sokuthi une-emotional stability ngunayi. It paves way for a person's independence. Ezinikhulu abantu abasekhaya kukhona lapho khona kumele kwekuthi utimele wena. Your parents will not be there. Noma bakhona, they are there just to give guidance, but not to kuthi bakubambe. You need to be on your own. And you will have it very tough in life nangabe ude emotional stability. You will have it tough having an independent life. And bakhona abantu labadzala, as I speak, labanalo 50 years lenginaye mne, who are emotionally unstable such that they cannot achieve personal independence. Yonke sewubuta kumake manje lokhu indvodza lenganga kodwa emake nasekunjena uma ngalithi indvodza lengaka yobuta kumakwa yindvo simple so. Ngicela labaleni emake. Emotional stability will help you to achieve personal independence. La ukhona kwenda decisions lo tawukhona kuwamela noma ngabe angasahambi ngalendlela bocabanga ukuthi utawuhamba ngayo. If you are not emotionally stable, you will have a wreckage of your life because you do not have a personal stability. Emotionally stable people tend to have a balanced way of perceiving life's problems. Incidentally, problems will come because we are experiencing life. We are doing life here. And in life, there are problems. So, nagefika lama problems, they are not here to kill us. But emotionally unstable people, when they come across problems, they would want to kill themselves. But emotionally stable people have a way of saying, okay, this is a problem, I'm going to make it through this problem, no matter what. They are able to stand their ground and say, life, throw whatever it is at me, I am going to stand my ground. Because they are able to equip themselves with a perspective they need to endure. They need to endure all sorts of hardship. Nsiteni, we are doing life here. And in life, there are hardships. You must be strong enough to stand and endure any type of hardship. And people who are going to do that are people that have learned the skill of emotional stability. Okay. Nangabe ude emotional stability, kuba lukhuni nekumaintaina interpersonal interaction or relationship. Angisakhulumi ngala ma relationship eGhana. Ngisho nje just you'll be surprised nani ngase nje nikhulume maqiniso. Kwekuthi some of you here do not have good relationships with their parents. Abevanje namakwakhe noma nababo wakhe. Now ngathi uyagubha ufuna understand lesizathu ukuthi yini. I mean, this is my parent. There are few parents labahlanyako lanhloko labangaze bacabane nebantu babo. But naso ugubha utawukhanza ukuthi lo mntwana lo ngevana babo wakhe noma namakwakhe noma nesihlobo sakhe nje esiclose. Sizathu ukuthi akakhoni kubalansa kahle ema emotions akhe. Lenvo yaba ngumkhuba yaba yihabit yagcina ibehavior. to the extent that akasakhona ku-maintain a good interpersonal relationship. Namhla utayelene angisho kujola, utayelene naSibusiso. And without any reason, Sibusiso is the worst person ever in life. So utayelene nalasimelane la. Naye akaphela 2 months somshile so utayelene naSizwe because she's the devil. And all sorts of things. You cannot maintain interpersonal relationship even in church. Nangabe kuthiwa kuyopracticewa lapha yena vele sowudvubile niyabada abantu labo ningibuka ngathi anibadi bakhona. The reason is this is simple failure yeku balancisa emotions akho. Okay, so how do you become emotionally stable? Yini into longatenda leti takwenda kwekuthi ukhone kuba ngumuntu lo balanced kuma emotions akho. Number 1, ngithi impilo throws things at us. Impilo throws things at us. We're left with 10 minutes. Number 1, allow yourself to go through painful emotions. Allow yourself. Ungendi nakule bebasenda kona athina kwekuthi hey mfowethu ayikhala. If you feel like crying because there's something painful, cry. Okay? Cry. It is very useful. Now just because a feeling is painful doesn't mean that it is bad. Just because a feeling is painful does not mean that it is bad or that you are bad for feeling that way. No. Umfana nawubeke ihita la embi kwakho leshisako angayati. The best way yokuthi ayifunze ukuthi lento le ikabi ukuthi ayithinze evela ukushisa. Ngalesikhathi akuva lokushisa, it will be painful and she will cry. But mina as a parent, I know ukuthi I've achieved something kulo mntwana. He will never ever again akhasa ayothinza le heat. So funze sifundo lesitsite empilweni, and that makes him strong. Kuthi when I see into levutha kanje kusasa akusiyo into yekudlala. It may ngalesikhathi eva lokushisa, it may seem bad, but it's not necessarily bad. And nakeva lokushisa akhala, it's not yena ngalokuva lokusha is not bad. Because the experience of us going through ema circumstances la raiser ema emotions ebuhlungu akahle ngalokuthi asaka sibe bantu laba strong and people who can gain independence in thinking and in action. So it is good to feel a negative emotion. So allow yourself, when there is something bad, this girl has dumped you, cry. If you're a man and you want to cry, cry. Ungagcini lapho though. Naso Khalid. Reflect on your emotions. Why were you crying? Ukazwa would say, this girl has dumped you. Why? Ask yourself that question. Why was I crying? Why am I feeling angry? Why am I feeling this resentment towards a person? Why? Yes, this person ungiphoxile and I have this emotion here, anger towards him. But why am I angry? David felt so angry because he felt so betrayed. Weva ngathi une entitlement kuna kudla kwaNabal. Weva ngathi une entitlement kulokudla kwaNabal ngoba abemsitile asite 70 takhe le endle. But if he had reflected on that, ngabe wabona ukuthi no, I'm also wrong here. I do not have entitlement ekudleni kwemuntu. Instead, what's hey? Invota. Enkembeni. Khona. Asambe somsotha laban. And this is how we usually react. Right? Sicabanga ukuthi simsotha njani umuntu. Ngithi ke mine nase sibuvile buhlungu. Let's take a step back. Put your cell phone away. Everything away and think, why am I feeling this? Why am I having this bad emotion? Why am I angry at Sibusiso? Ngimkwateleleni vele. Ngimenyanyani. Reflect. Utibute lo mbuto tishela. Ungipanishile. And I'm angry at him. But ungipanisheleni tishela. Maybe there's a reason. Kukhona lo ngakakwendi kahle. If you do not reflect why you are feeling the way you are feeling, you will miss out on corrective measures. And when you miss out on corrective measures, you are not growing. And you will never achieve personal independence. If you do not take time to reflect on your feelings, towards your bosses, the way they have spoken or lashed out at you, M17, and you just see this horrible boss, and that's it. You have missed out on a very, very rich opportunity of growth, personal growth. And we are angry at everybody. It's like this world is owing us something. Have you noticed that? Young people are so angry at literally everyone. Angry at your parents, angry at your teachers, angry at the country, angry at everybody, literally everyone. Ngazuthi lo mhlaba nje owe something. Maybe because we have gone through certain circumstances, sisakhula, sisafunda, kwendeka yonke lento leyo, some opportunities swabona enga. Saba angry, sakhohlwa to take a step back as an individual and then ask ourselves, why am I angry? Why am I angry? Without that, there will be no change in you. Without reflecting on ema emotions ethu bazalwane, singeke sikhule. We will remain dwarf adults. The people who will make a difference in influencing the world they live in, I'm talking about Christians now, are people who are not just vocal or people who think they know, but it is people who are emotionally stable. They are emotionally stable because every occurrence, negative occurrence that happens to their lives, they use it as an opportunity for growth. Not to hate other people, not to sort other people, but for their own personal growth. But let me understand, why am I feeling this way? Why? Oh, I think I was wrong here. I should have done this thing this way. They'll never repeat that mistake in future because they've learned. Okay. The next thing that I want us to look at Kulenza by emotional, you could reflect on your emotions. There's many things that you do need to ask yourself. We are angry at him. Why am I angry? What is the underlying cause? Angry towards him. How can it be corrected? Where did I go wrong? And things like that. You change. You change your perspective. You change your thought processes. And you change you. Third thing, set boundaries. Set boundaries. Set boundaries. I'm speaking to young men and women who want to explore life. Right? You want to explore life, aren't you? You are young. And that's the way to go. Life must be explored. But you must explore life within boundaries. Right? Set yourselves boundaries. Life can throw anything at anybody at any time. We do not determine what should life throw at me. We have a choice to respond to these life circumstances. You must also learn to set boundaries. Some of the things that hurt us, some of the disappointments that we go through are a making of our own selves. Ngiyaphinza. Yebo, we cannot determine ukuthi impilo isilethela ini. But we have a responsibility to set boundaries. Ngoba there are certain things like hurt, like disappointments, that may come to you simply because you failed to set boundaries. La kuwe nje kukamancanca. People, even at home, should know ukuthi kunetinto longadisho kubani ati-tolerate. But kunetinto longeke uzutisho kubani noma ngabe uyadlala, you cannot joke this way. Even more so as a child of God. You will never allow a boy ukuthi alibale kukutsinza. It can never happen. He must know ukuthi awuleqi le line leli. Waze waleqa le line leli uthola umlilo. You set yourselves those boundaries. Because if you don't, then you are opening gates for people to say things to you or for people to do things to you that are likely to hurt you, that are likely to disappoint you. And then you develop hatred towards those people. Yet, if you had set the boundaries, bebata kwathi nje ukuthi kuSimon ke hayi angisayi lapha. Lokhu nje angeke azakutolerate. Bese badedele emuva. When you set yourselves boundaries, you increase your potential to be emotionally stable. In life, never allow yourself to go with the flow. Go with the flow. Kuvamisile ke lokho etikolweni nakumakolishi. You know why these young boys or even girls this time bagcina bafunza kubhema nekunatha tshwala. You know why? Nangumntwana uhambile ekhaya kubo, yeah. Yeah, so now Msizi, use college. And he has friends. These friends, bang 5, were 6 years. They study together, which is a good thing. They discuss life's issues together, which is a good thing. But they find themselves doing more or less, they do things together. But there are things that Msizi, because he's a Christian, that he cannot do, right? But because they used to doing things together. There's a bar, yes, there's a bar. Because some of the people are interacting by nuts, right? And from the surface, he will definitely not drink because akanatsi vele. If he allows that, he is just flowing or going with the flow. He must, at some point in time, say, "Angilekile line leli." No, angilekile line leli. Siyangasepa? No, not for me. Ambani macha. I'll see you later at Domin. Bahlala at Domin. Angsawa nje lapha. You draw the line. You draw the line. If you don't draw the line and you go with the flow, you are likely to be disappointed. You are likely to be hurt. And I know people who have been into boiling waters. Some lost their lives simply because they failed to say no. Bahamba nalabangani babo to please their friends. To please, ngisakhula ke mina sasibaleka esikolweni for no reason, just for the fun of it. Ekube nginesikhathi bengidanicocela lenye indzaba. Kubaleke nje esikolweni, kusichaza nje ukuthi sibalekile abakasiboni, kanti basibonile. Just going with the flow. There was no reason for us to elope, but nje lokhu nje sesibalekile sidiva ngathi asingemabhoza. Ngalenye langa sake sibalekela kuyogijima eBheneza, ngangifundza eBheneza form 1 to form 3. Now baleka kunemasimu la ngendazi kwaleli ground. So singena la masimini kacha sawela umfula nako ngeshare. Sajina singeshare kwemimoto. Sithi tshelethi siyakahlatsa edolobheni, asathi nalutho siyokwendana. Kwemimoto la celeni kwethu, awusigijime nathi sithi sithola ilift. Ehle head teacher nje vele ehle la motweni. Sagijima sesibile groundini. Nase groundini he was a very fit man. I'll never forget that. Ngagijima kwaze kwaphuma litsenza. Ngeke ukuthi nje I was flowing. I mean going with the flow. Kubaleka nje. You will go through disappointments in life simply because you have refused to say no when you had to say no. Learn to say no to what you don't want. Nabe njinto ayifuni and it's a no. Ladies, girls, that is very important. No is no. When this boy comes to you, akudlalisa kabi, uyamtshela nje ukuthi usuphinze mfana wami. And you mean it. Learn to pursue your goals. Learn to pursue each and every one of us here. Noma besibangani, ema goals ethu will never be the same. Never. Nina nisafunza nje. Your goals are never the same. Khona lofuna kuthi nasakhulela abe nginako lomnye ngitsike mina learn to pursue that. And for now, the only way to pursue it is to pursue school. Yonke into lefuna ukudisturba ekufunzeni ngaba bangani ukuthi sendoja class noma nisayinde homework, you know that so yakukhipha ke emgwaqweni yokuyo achieve your goal. Say no. Cul-de-sac. Ngiyangithi ke kubantu, it's not bad to be alone. If I have to go this route alone, so be it. It's not bad. You don't need a crowd. You just need yourself. Learn to draw boundaries. If you don't draw boundaries around you, usuke wehluleka ukuthi hlonipha wena. And umuntu lo wehluleka ukuthi hlonipha yena udvonsa ema opportunities etintfo letingamdisappointa, etintfo letingamstressa, etintfo letingamlimata emotionally. And therefore, you fail to regulate or to achieve emotional stability. Okay, I'm left with about 4 of them. Ngifuna ke kun challenger again. Niphethe mosokubhala. Ngicela niyofunza nama scriptures nanga. Proverbs 23 verse number 7. Now Proverbs 4 verse number 23. Now Philippians 4 verse number 8. Now Philippians 4 verse number 5 and 6. Most of those verses or those scriptures talk about indzaba yekuregulator indlela lesicabanga ngayo. Little Bible, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it spring the issues of life. Right? So ke ngifuna ke siwafunze sizindle ngawo lama scripture lesenginike wona, ngoba God willing we'll get some other time sitokhuluma ngendzaba yekuregulator indlela esicabanga ngayo. Because our lives patterns, behavior, regulator norma is a product of our thoughts. It's a product of our thoughts. The reason why you are here today in this session, there was a thought process that went through, or that you went through. Namhla. Nangangitshela liqiniso nje. You had a debate, kahle kahle. Why should I go to church today? There was a debate. And the debate, bekuvetela tintfo letinye longabe botawutenda noma longabe utendile. But thank God you are here. Because somehow your thought processes akuchannel ekuthi ugcine uthi hayi ngiyayo esondweni namhla. And I'm saying some of the hurts, some of the disappointments that we go through in life are a product of our thoughts. So, as young people, I want us to deal with that issue at some point in time to help us to recondition how we think. To recondition how we think. Siyavala, ngibani lonembuto? No, my comment. Ngiyathi nje sisakha nje tulu. We haven't really gone into umnyombo wayo. Anyone with a question or comment? Yes, sir.
Lama emotional stabilities kuyendeka yini utalwe nawo noma uyawadevelopa ezisikhathi sichubeka?
Good question. Nsiteke ngibekisana labakasimelana. You are not born with an emotionally unstable person as a person. You are not born emotionally unstable. You learn it. It becomes a learned form or habit. Uyakufunza kuba emotionally unstable. Uyakufunza ngiko nje namhla sikhuluma ngako sendela kwekuthi nangabe sekukhona lese sikufunzile lokungema habits la senda sibe emotionally unstable, we need to unlearn them and then start laying the ground of learning good habits la tawusenda kwekuthi sikhone kuba emotionally stable, because nokuba emotionally stable you learn it. You learn, you develop how to stabilize yourself emotionally. You learn it. It's a learned thing. You have to learn to stabilize your emotions. You learn to have unstable emotions as well. So, umuntu ke nje yena naturally ufuna kuphila lapho khona kutobade ama boundaries khona, even a behavior. Angathi nje ngapha athi flothele nje na umoya umbhekisele yabheke khona. Ngiko batali bethu nasisebancane bebasithethisa noma basishaye when we throw tantrums, violent tantrums. Mina nje when I see a child throwing up a violent tantrum ngiva ngikwata ngoba and ngibuke lo mntala ngamendi lutho, because ngiyathi kwekuthiwa khani lo mntwana wakha nje inkinga yemntwana nasakhulile uyokwathi umntwana athi nakathethiswa bothishela she can throw a tantrum in class in front of 40 students. Wakha kwekuthi nasakhulile ngibale ngamprofeta, okay. Nasakhulile angibekise ngawe mzala wami. Nasakhulile atfola umenvo. Wathi athi nje kwekuthi she can say anything to her husband anyhow. Ngikwatiswa ke ngiloko, because you learn these things. Whether bad or good, you learn to be emotionally stable. You must learn it. Ngiyeko nje ngisasambe nisofunza lama verse lawa, because kukhona le ngifuna ukuthi sikhulume ngako la, which will assist us to learn to modify, to guide our emotions.